Tell us who
Thank
you
you.
are and what you do and why you're here.
Right. My name is Susan Lundeen. I'm with Boys and Girls Clubs of the Twin Cities. We have 8 clubs in Minneapolis and St. Paul that offer youth development programs in specific neighborhoods. And one of our programs, in addition to our traditional programs that are run, is an intervention program for youth who are involved in gangs and wanting to transition out of the gang lifestyle. So we offer case management and support for those youth, and as youth complete that transition and make a commitment to living a pro-social and productive life, they're eligible for pro bono tattoo removal services for any gang-related tattoos.
And I mean, this is kind of an obvious question, but why is tattoos so emblematic of their gang participation, and why is it important for those to be removed?
Right. Well, the number one concern that's expressed by youth who are transitioning out or who have transitioned out, and even adults, is being judged in seeking employment, being judged in society. They may have left the lifestyle, but yet they continue to be judged as being gang involved. And so offering this service provides youth and young adults the opportunity for employment, for self-confidence, to not be identified in a gang after they've left.
So this is very much a concrete thing, removing tattoos, but it's also a spiritual thing, perhaps. It's an identity thing.
It is. The transition from the gang lifestyle out, our case managers are providing support for education, support for workforce and career. They're providing support for mental health and chemical health. It's a whole being transition out, and it's very symbolic as they finish kind of that last transition of removing that obvious evidence on their skin to their commitment and moving on into a productive lifestyle.
The criteria for the award you're being honored for today is moving beyond current economic challenges with creative and proactive community and economic development innovations.
Yes.
Reflect on that for a second.
Yes. So our program is currently funded through federal funding passed through the state of Minnesota through the Department of Public Safety Office of Justice Programs. So we work very closely with local law enforcement. One of our key partners in the case management and providing the support for the youth is Neighborhood House. And so, through these partnerships, we are able to get youth transitioned out at an early age. So as we know, prevention, early intervention is certainly more economical in the long run than incarceration and rehabilitation. And so there's certainly the key point from a public safety perspective, from corrections institutions, from law enforcement, to invest in this program, because as these kids transition out, instead of going into a life where they may be incarcerated or go through rehabilitation or even unemployment, health issues, they're actually seeking to be a more productive member of society.
Sounds like a neat coalition that's working on,
It is.
Their behalf. What are some of the challenges and hurdles that you face?
Our biggest challenge would be continued funding. Right now we've been relying on the pro bono services of our nurses and doctors who have had very long-term commitment. And while we've got the commitment of the doctors and the nurses, the intensive case management and the medical supplies involved in this isn't cheap either. While it's certainly a better choice economically than the rehabilitation incarceration, finding consistent long-term funding to be able to provide the case management that actually makes the program such a success has been our biggest challenge.
What's been one of your biggest joys or highlights in this work?
One of the nurses recently spoke to me about the presence of the clients for the very first time that they come in to, as they're finishing up their last or nearing that actual tattoo removal procedure, and the confidence, the relationships that are developed. It's so good to see these youth finding support, not just from the case managers, but from the medical community as well.
Great. Susan, great work. Thanks for
Thank you.
speaking with us, and congratulations on the award today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.